Good morning, everyone, or afternoon, I should say. It's about 4 p.m. here in St. Louis, but welcome back to the Adobe XD Daily Creative Challenge. I'm your host, Andrea Epi. Hope you guys are having a wonderful Friday. I'm excited for the weekend. It's very nice out here in St. Louis, so I'm excited to get outside after this. So welcome to everyone in the chat. Today is actually day 4 of our 2-week challenge. So we've got 1 week almost under our belt, and then we still have next week. So don't worry if you missed a bunch of this week or anything, you can still keep designing with us next week. So welcome to everyone in the chat. If you have any questions throughout the stream as I'm designing, just go ahead and put it over there and I will reply and answer your question. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and get started on Behance. Let's hop on over there real quick. And as always, if you want to follow along with me, I'm on behance.net/challenge/XD, and we can go ahead and get started. Okay, so as always, if you're not already registered, go ahead and sign up and register with this big blue button right there. And that way, each day you will get notified in your Creative Cloud app up here that there's a new challenge going on and that you should come back here and check it out and see what it is. So like I mentioned, this challenge started on Monday, but it is going to next Friday. So you can still join anytime you want. And let's go ahead and scroll on down and see what today's challenge is. So look at all of these challenges that we have already done this week. Tuesday, we worked on that really cool sort of swiping through digital payment method, sort of like a digital wallet. And then on Wednesday, we did one of my favorites. You guys know I love the VR designs. We did a virtual tour of a museum. Yesterday, we worked on sort of some iOS 14 widgets using Stacks for a podcast platform. Okay, there we go. I had to refresh my page. Now I can see you guys all in the chat. Welcome, everyone. Shannon, we've got Cody. Hey, Cody. Christy, Tabish, Rosie. Welcome back, Rosie, Aaron, and Joshua. Awesome. Lots of familiar faces. Yeah, so today we're going to be working on a journaling app. So I want you guys to design a journaling app interface where users choose from a set of provided prompts. And so just think of this as like a way for someone like myself personally that has a hard time getting into the routine of doing a journal. This just makes it super easy for someone. So we want to give them like drop downs instead of having to write out a bunch of things. So you can let them select their mood, maybe productivity level, whatever you want, whatever kind of things you would want to journal. So as always, you can grab that starter file from Dropbox, just hit download and then direct download, and that will give you the starter file. I'll show you that in just a second, but it just has some resources and stuff that you can use to get started. And as always, if you want to rewatch any of these, just hit watch video and you can replay them. What else? Of course, I'm live right here every day at 2 p.m. Pacific. And make sure you hop on over to Discord. So this is the link for Discord over here. And I'm already a member, but it'll ask if you want to sign up and create a username. But this is what Discord looks like. If you have not already joined, there's about 50,000 of you guys already, which is amazing. So if you do want any feedback on your work, just post it in this current challenge up here, this channel, and you can see who's online, what mentors. And I think it's just nice, like getting some inspiration for your work. If you ran out of ideas, really cool seeing what everyone else is working on. So that is Discord. And let's go ahead and hop into our design. So as always, this week, I've started showing you guys the final result at the beginning so you can kind of digest a little better what we're doing as we're designing. So we're going to be working on these components and I'll show you kind of what that looks like. So this is a journaling app, of course. This would be like your home page where you can kind of swipe through and see all of your entries. And then down here we've got one entry. So this is where you would create a new one. And this is where we're going to be focusing on, this little drop down here. So today's mood, and you can scroll through. Look how cute all of those are. You know, I love using emojis, so just thought that was cute. So maybe you're ecstatic, productivity level. Chose some of these little emojis. Maybe you're extremely productive, or the snail for somewhat. That's kind of what I'm feeling today, just somewhat. So yeah, that's what we're going to be working on. If you want to add other things like, typing and stuff, totally go wild. You can feel free to do that. So cool. That's what we're working on. Components are over here in the interface. Now it's grayed out right now because we don't have anything selected, but when you select something, then you'll see you can press this little plus button and then add as many different states as you want. And I'll get into that in just a second. So here's some inspiration. I don't know if you guys have used this one before. This one is called Calm, I think. And it just makes me calm, as they would say. I love the illustrations. It's just so cute. Just good vibes all around. This is kind of where I got the inspiration from, actually. This is by Sasha, and I liked that she had the question, just what are you grateful for? Instead of having to kind of brainstorm yourself. And then, yeah, I just thought that layout was nice. Again, calming tones, which I love. Resource booklet, you can hop through here, see icons, fonts, photos, tutorials, just some links, as always, places that I get some of my stuff if you want to. And yeah, Rosie did the little snail emoji. Yeah, I love using emojis anytime I can. Okay, so today's tips, we're going to focus on simplicity. So users are probably coming to a Journaly app, obviously, to alleviate stress. So we just want to make this super zen, super calm, not a lot, nothing too crazy. And we're going to provide users with a few options up front, and that kind of keeps the experience just quick and easy. I already mentioned this a few times, but basically eliminates decision fatigue. All right, so I've got 3 artboards just already set up. So we're going to do entries. I might do entries last just for the sake of time, and then 1 entry with those drop downs and stuff, and then maybe keyboard, showing that coming up if we have time at the end. Cool. And then at the very end, I like looking at you guys' work. So that is what we are working on. Hey Riley, hey Abdullah, welcome in. We're starting in on a journaling app if you're just joining us. Okay, so I do have a few components over in my assets panel over here already, and I know you guys are always like, where are all these components? But I only give you the resource booklet component because I want you guys to come up with your own components. But yeah, feel free to definitely utilize that resource booklet. So this is just a little illustration. I got this from actually Adobe stock. Sometimes when I'm feeling lazy and like I want to add a graphical element, I'll come here just for some sort of vector, and you can search by vector images. And then this one had a bunch of like, foliage and stuff in it, which I think was nice. But you can download it as an AI file and just delete those little pieces that you don't want. So that's where I got that. I thought that was nice, and I can still reuse that too later if I want to. Okay, so title, obviously journal. Let's make this pretty big so we can see it. And did I type anything? Oh, it's in white, that's why. There we go, okay. Couldn't see what I was typing. That was the issue. And sometimes if it's like kind of a more cheeky, sort of just playful app, I don't capitalize the first letter because I think it's a little more playful. But yeah, just personal preference. And then we'll say whatever day it is. So Friday, September 18th. It's the 18th, right? Yes. Sometimes I just gotta check because all these days are just running together during COVID, man. Just do not even know anymore. Okay, so we've got the date, and then below that, let's just do our first prompt. So that will be today's mood, perhaps. And the font that I'm using, so up here, this one is called Como. I like this for like headers and stuff, but not necessarily for the body copy. And this one, I mean, you know it already, Sophia Pro. Pretty much my, top 3 or so that I always use. Okay, now I'm gonna add that drop down. Yeah, Christy said you can always repurpose the parts that you don't need. So true. So true. Like for this little illustration, can you reuse that? And actually, This wasn't really the color that it came with. It was more these like sandy dune sort of colors. But a lot of times I'll just add a blending mode layer on top to make it exactly what color I want. Okay, so I'm gonna leave this drop down black, and I kind of want it to stand out a little bit. So I'm actually going to use a drop shadow, but not like this drop shadow right here. I'm actually just gonna do an object blur, because I think adding your own shape of the drop down is a little nicer sometimes. You can like make it whatever size you want, and I kind of like to bring it in on the edges a little bit so it kind of looks like the light is coming from above, and then just bring it down this a little bit more. So I feel like there's a little bit more flexibility with those. Yeah. Hey Richard, welcome back. Okay, so for this one, since this is going to be our default state, so we're just going to say none. We have not selected a mood yet. And I think this needs to be a little thicker, so I'm going to do medium, I think. Cool. What else? We need a drop down arrow, of course. Let's add that, just like right here. And this drop down is a little bit big, I will say, but I do want to leave enough space. Let me bring that back. I do want to leave enough space for the emojis, so that's why it's pretty large. So let's group all of that together, and I just want to move these up a tad. Okay, so now we need to make this a component in order to make it a drop down. So we can come over here into our components, press this little plus icon, and now we have the default state. So you'll notice that it says main. So this is our main component. If we make any instances of this, so if I copy and paste this, this says instance, this will update with whatever I change this. So if I change this to be red or blue or whatever, all of the other instances of that will update as well. So I'm going to keep it as black, but we need to add the opened state. So let's go ahead and add another state, and I'll just call this opened. And you can go back and rename those to whatever you want. You just can't rename the default state yet, at least. So not a big deal, but just so in case you were wondering. Okay, so let's open this up, and I'll leave none. Usually I make the arrow just the opposite, so it looks like you're going up versus down, if that makes sense. Okay, so now let's add some of our emojis. So fun. Okay, and these emojis I just got from like emojipedia.com, I think it was, and you can just copy and paste them. So let's add these guys. And while it's opened, I actually want the whole drop down to be a different color, and I think I'll do this blue color. That looks nice. And then behind each of these, kind of sticking with the very like 3D look, I'm going to add just a circle behind it, bring it back, and just make this a little bit darker, just a touch. And I'm also going to add a drop shadow behind our little smiley face, or whatever the emoji is. And again, I'm going to do an object blur. That's huge. Let's bring this down to like right there. And again, I'll make this a little bit darker. So let's bring it back and see how it looks. I think that really looks like it's like popping off the screen. So I love that effect. All right, let's group those, and I'll just do a repeat grid on all of those. Bring it up a tad. Bring it down. Okay. And let's add the rest of our emojis. So we've got, add some text next to them. Joshua said, emojis are amazing. Richard loves emojis too. Yeah. Gotta love the emojis. It's nice because emojis, they're like universal. Anyone can use them. And then you don't have to make your own icons, which is nice. Okay, so let's say this is ecstatic. We've got happy, neutral, sad. What other ones do we have? sad, and very sad. I guess I have a lot of unhappy ones, but I just wanted more excuses to use emojis. Okay, and then let's add some spacing between all of these to just kind of match up there. Move this down a bit. I don't want to get too in the weeds, but just gotta see. Let's bring this down so we can see. Bring it down. Okay. Sad, very sad, and or this one can be unhappy. A lot of sad ones. Oh well. Okay. Very sad. Then we need to adjust this up a bit. Okay. There we go. Spent a lot of time doing that. All right, now what I want to do is let's make all of these. Let's put all of these in a scroll group. Let's group those. And come over here, do our little scroll group. We already went over this on, I forget what day it was, but you can go back and rewatch. But basically, let's put this like right here so that when the user opens the drop down, they'll know that that is scrollable. So let's go ahead and just preview what we have so far. So let's go up to the preview, and we actually need to keep this first on. Select this. So make sure if you want to just preview it, you have to put it back on the default state first. So let's preview. And I forgot we didn't add any triggers. So we need to do that as well in order to be able to click something. So go over to your prototype tab, and then for default state, we need to add a tap trigger. So press this little plus icon. Under trigger, we say tap. And under destination, we'll just say opened. So it automatically goes to opened. And then from opened, we want to do the same thing, just backwards. So this will go back to the default state so we can open and close it. So make sure you remember to add those triggers. So let's go ahead and preview. So we got open, cute. And we saw that little arrow sort of flip as well. And we can scroll through each of these. That looks so cute. Now what I want to do is, oh, you guys are doing all the emojis in the chat now. Yeah, pizza emoji. We've got the unicorn. Oh, that would be fun actually, like if this was a food app and then you're scrolling through your just emojis. That would be fun. Okay, so in order to select something, we need a few different states. So let's say selected state, oh, I can't spell. Selected, and we'll say ecstatic. So that's what happens if we press ecstatic. So what we need to do is double click in here, and we need to copy those elements, and then go back to this state, which is the one we just made, the selected one, and make sure you double click in, and you can just paste that. Since I do want this to be on the top level, I do want it to be visible. Let's bring this up. We only want to see that one. And this will say ecstatic, since we chose ecstatic. And then I will change this to blue. So again, go back to our prototype tab, and from opened, we would just double click in here, double clicking a lot. And then from this, we would want to select it. So you can just tap it. You don't really have to drag it anywhere. Tap it. We'll do another tap trigger. And the destination here will be selected ecstatic. So just make sure you remember to go back into the prototype tab and add those. Otherwise, it will not work when you're testing it. So same thing that we did with opened. We need to do the same thing for ecstatic. We need to be able to open it again so we can go back to the opened state from there. And usually whenever you add another trigger or another interaction, it will just keep the rest of the details the same. So like if you change the duration or the easing or the type, it'll usually save those from whatever your last one is. So you don't have to worry about that. Okay, so let's preview this. And we've got none. We open it, so cute. We can scroll through, we can choose ecstatic, and there we go. And you can just as many of those emojis as you have, that is the amount of states that you would need to add. So I would need to add, like, to make all of those clickable. So I would need to add selected happy, selected neutral, selected unhappy. You get the deal. But gosh, I have not made much of this page. Let's just go ahead and fill out the rest of this. So we'll say productivity level. I cannot spell today. I don't know like what the deal is. You know what I think it is? I did my nails and they're kind of long and I think it like really affects my typing. I don't know, but I've never had like really long nails before because I always like bite them or whatever, which is terrible. But yeah, I think that's the issue. It's the long nails. Okay, so we'll add just a few more prompts, things you're grateful for, and maybe like what was the highlight of your day, and what could you do better tomorrow? What could you do better tomorrow? And I don't think I'm going to get to those other pages, which is fine. We just really wanted to focus on these drop-down components. Let's also add just a little pink gradient behind this because I feel like we've got this nice pink up here and I kind of want to tie it down to the bottom as well. So come over here to linear gradient and then we can add pink to it. And this will just bring all the way down. And I'll just make this very subtle, just kind of in the background. So it's kind of more balanced that way, I think, a little bit. And then maybe in these places, we can just add just a space to type if we want to. Actually, I do think this does need a border. Just a very subtle one. And you know what? I'm gonna have to drag this down so it's a little bit lower. Bring that. Yeah, we need to add some more space here. Okay, so that looks good. And we just need to add a button, like a done button. So let's ungroup this component since I don't want it to be a drop down. And we'll just say done. So that would submit our entry. Group those together. Okay, so we only got one page done, but that's fine. It looks nice. Okay, well there you go. Let's go ahead and save. Command S to save. If you do want to export this as a movie file, just come up here to your little play button. And, oh, you guys are talking about ice cream in the chat. I don't know how you got on that, but I love it. Ooh, Ben & Jerry's fudge brownie. That sounds so good. Okay, I might have to order some ice cream after this too. You guys are making me hungry. Okay, so if you did want to record this, just press that little play button right there. And then you'll see this little clicker indicator. And oh, what we need to do there is just make sure you bring this up to the front if you see that it's behind. So then when we open it, there we go. And you can edit all of those. Same thing with this drop down for productivity level. You would probably want to change that as well. Cool. Okay, let's get into, oh, real quick, I want to mention if you are uploading your project as like a case study or something, make sure you go over into settings right here and you add that keyword or that project tag XD Daily Challenge so that we can find your work and give you feedback if you would like it. Yes, cool. All right, so now one of my favorite parts of the stream, let's go ahead and look at some of you guys' work. And I'm just searching by that keyword, that's XD Daily Challenge, and I usually just sort by most recent. And yeah, I already had some pulled up. I think those were it. All right, and we can look at some on Discord as well. So this one is by Antonio Santos. Antonia, thanks for sharing. So this one, this was from yesterday, and we were working on the iOS widgets. So these look awesome. Love it. Yeah, we've got sort of the tiniest one, like smartwatch sort of size. and the medium size. And I love that waveform there. That is really nice. Love a good waveform. Awesome. Thank you so much, Antonio, for sharing that one. And this one's by Annie Yang. Annie's been killing it lately. She's been doing a lot of these. Thanks, Annie, for sharing. Let's preview this, make it full screen. Oh, so fast. Okay. Oh, okay. I saw this one in Discord. That is such a good idea with a little drop down to see more just when you want. I love that. Good idea. That is awesome. Awesome. Thanks for sharing, Annie. And that is mine. Maybe time for just like one more on Discord. Okay. Saw this one. Kind of looking for like a prototype. That's okay. We can look at this. This one's by Finesse. Make this a little bigger. I cannot. Ooh, I love this waveform as well. Yeah, I like the dark mode. Nice color choices there. Nice contrast between the yellow of that album art. All right, guys, we'll keep posting your work in Discord. I will check there after the stream, after this. So if you do want feedback, make sure you post it there. And make sure you sign up with that big blue button. That's about all the time that we have left for today. Thank you guys, as always, so much for joining. Don't go anywhere, because in about 5 minutes, we've got our office hours with Andrew Hockrattle and Nick Longo. And I hope you guys have a great weekend. I'll see you on Monday at 2 p.m. Pacific. Bye, everyone.